Hey folks, Matt Easton here, Scholar Gladiatoria. So just a little update, couple of things really to let you know. Firstly, FightCamp, the main event, is the biggest UK HEMA event and it's the main event that I organise each year. It's in the middle of August and there are only 13 places remaining on the event. There's over 200 attendees in fact. So only 13 places remaining. A matter of interest for some of you, there will definitely be videos coming out of FightCamp as there are most years, not just from me, but also from other YouTubers. I can at this point think of at least 5 YouTubers who are going to be at FightCamp this year. So I expect that there will be a fair amount of video content coming out both on my channel and obviously on other people's channels as well. So if you want to come to FightCamp, grab one of those spaces while they're still available. Once the spaces are gone, they're gone. We have a space limitation due to the insurance on the site. So yeah, there are only 13 spaces remaining. I'll put a link below this video right now to the booking. It's a 3-day event, around 40 classes, just over 40 classes, 6 tournaments. There's traders there, there's all sorts of crafts, there's bladesmithing going on, all kinds of stuff. It's an awesome event. Most of you guys who watch the channel will know about FightCamp, and most people doing HEMA will know about FightCamp. Biggest UK event. Anyway, that's enough of that. Secondly, second point I want to mention is there is a new book out. And it's by my friend Paul Mortimer and his associate Matt Bunker, who I don't know personally, but I know him by association. And Paul Mortimer, you might know from my channel, I've done videos with Paul looking at in fact that's him there, in the Sutton Hoo helmet. And he's got, basically he's Mr. Sutton Hoo, so he's got pretty much the most faithful reproductions of all of the Sutton Hoo burial gear, and he does sort of educational appearances at Sutton Hoo with all of that gear and explaining how it was made and its kind of historical context and this kind of stuff. And he's just released a book, or very recently, I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, released a book called The Sword in Anglo-Saxon England from the 5th to the 7th centuries. And that, and again, link below, I'll put a link below to where you can buy that from Anglo-Saxon Books. You can get it via Amazon as well, but the price is the same. It basically contains a huge amount of research that him and Matt Bunker have been doing for years and years, compiling, and it's really kind of cutting edge stuff. So there are other books out there on Anglo-Saxon swords and Anglo-Saxon shields, but this compiles a lot of the latest data and a lot of stuff which I believe is just not published anywhere else at all. And it actually makes some quite kind of groundbreaking assertions actually, and kind of discoveries in a way of really putting particularly the early Anglo-Saxon, so as it says 5th to 7th century, so that's kind of early Anglo-Saxon to mid Anglo-Saxon, really putting the sword particularly into a context, to use my favourite word, of the time. So, you know, basic things like what the quality of the swords found were, how numerous they maybe were in society, what place they played in society. Obviously, a lot of it relates to weapon burials, because a lot of what we know about the early Anglo-Saxon swords is from weapon burials, and weapon burials are a very important aspect of migration era society, and so on and so forth. It's got many chapters covering all different aspects of this, and it has a small chapter by a certain person called Mr. Matt Easton, and Paul very graciously asked me to contribute a little chapter which is titled How Early Anglo-Saxon Swords Were Used. A theory and some basic things. So just obviously we know very, very little about how they were used, but I talk a little bit about, just trying to find the page here, how the grip, how the style of hilt dictates how you hold the sword, and the fact that swords used in that period obviously were always used with shields, and then talking a little bit about, generally speaking, how swords and shields could have been used together in that period based on what we know from other periods and ethnographic sources and all sorts of stuff. So there we go, link below. The Sword in Anglo-Saxon England from the 5th to the 7th century, really cutting edge. It's a big book, okay, so it's not cheap, but it is a big book with a lot of data in it. It is a massive big book with just, it's unparalleled as far as I know in terms of the data in it. So there we go, those two things, FightCamp and new book. I will see you soon for another video on a whole different topic. And yes, I am planning on doing more Game of Thrones videos. As you guys know, my time for making videos has been somewhat limited recently. So I've just been trying to squeeze things in as and when I can, but I've got various things on the cards, various things in the planning, and yeah, I've got various things that will be up and coming soon, and I hope to be churning out a few more videos, slightly more regular videos than I have been in the last 2 weeks. Anyway, thanks for watching, and links below, and I will see you really soon for another video. Cheers, folks! Thanks for watching. We've got extra videos on Patreon. Please give our Facebook a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Cheers, folks.